Go.
I don't know why that came into my head, but that's what I'm rolling with. Hi, friends. How's it going? Welcome to another episode of The Mind of the Martyr, episode 69.
Nice.
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 As you might be able to see down below, this is a charity stream. In fact, this is the last stream for our up, down, I don't know which, that way, both. Just
Stop.
this is our last charity stream for Collab in Color, a
Make it bigger.
fantastic quadlaboration that we've been doing with Utopia, with Transplanar, and with Dicey Amazons. If you haven't seen those streams, please go check them out. They were all fantastic. They were brilliant. Yes, it has been a fantastic few days for TTRPG content. I am telling you that for a fact. Yeah, so we're here to basically wrap stuff up. We have a few special things going on, as you can see in the chat currently. There's a little bit about what we're actually raising money for, a relief fund in Ukraine. As you can see, we have already smashed our goal, which is bloody fantastic, but I know that we can go ahead and do better. So there's a donate link in the chat, !donate for that. And we're rolling some incentives for tonight's session. As you can see in the side there, !incentives. Everything from a little bit of cat terror all the way to meeting the BBEG and turning people into kids. So yeah, who knows? It'll be interesting, certainly, as we see everything going on here. But yeah, thanks for rocking up. And before we roll into the session, do have to just real quick mention some folks that keep us on the air. One of those is the wonderful folks at Dice Envy. Go ahead and check out them. There is an affiliate code in the chat. They do dice. They do lots of dice. They do fantastic dice. They do pretty dice. That's all I really need to do to sell you on that. You're here, you probably play TTRPGs, you need more dice. If you think you have enough, the answer is no, you don't. You need more. So go ahead and check them out. The other folks are the amazing people at Grinding Coffee, a Black LGBT-owned coffee company. Throw in FWRD for some money off your order there. And yeah, check them out at Grinding Coffee Co. And then we are a Roll20 Spotlight stream. Roll20 is the fantastic online toolset that we use for our maps and battles and things like that. Go ahead and check them out at roll20.net. You can sign up for free, use a bunch of their services there, or you can go ahead and get a pro account for some extra goodies, and depending on which package you go for, sometimes free games included, so that's always good. But yeah, go ahead and check them out too. Roll20, this is how we roll. And with that, let's roll into the charity goodness, because that's the good side of things. This is what we're waiting for. Yeah, amazing. So I just got a ping. That was very distracting. Yes. Yeah, so as we're about to roll into things, let's just recap where we're at real quick. 69 sessions. There's been a lot of turmoil, a lot of drama. Very queer, of course. But the party currently find ourselves on an interesting vessel. Let's call it that, an interesting vessel. That has spawned in from another plane, another realm, that has been abducting people. Possibly multiple ships, but we know, thanks to some ingenuity from the party, that this one was going to show up here. A plan was made, the team were reunited after some time in the Verdant Vale, and we continued on our mission. After a interesting distraction, after discovering that two of the individuals you've been speaking to for a very long time now are in fact dragons, we ended up breaking on in to this interplanar ship Hi friends, how's it going? There they are. Apparently there was an issue with the Twitch settings, so that would explain things. Gotta love all the extra security. That and the fact that Twitch will just randomly unfollow you from channels. That's always wonderful. But hi, Transplaner friends. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're keeping okay. Y'all crack me up. That was just a beautiful, wonderful couple of games there, and I really, really enjoy that your newest cast member got to murder your other cast members many times in Among Us. That just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. But yeah, we're just about to jump into the session here, where essentially, yeah, the team have broken into this interplanar vessel in order to attempt to find out why people are being abducted and gather as much information as they can, only to then find out that they had actually triggered some kind of trap on board and entered into the fight of their lives. Quite literally for poor Mara, who was taken out in the ensuing chaos, but swiftly revived because, you know, 2 clerics, always good. And now, having brought the party back together, having at least driven off whatever had jumped you after it had declared you weren't really worth its time, you have managed to escape out of this ship in the middle of the air as a dragon has swooped down underneath you and collected you. And you left the last session with the slight buzzing and whirring and twisting of some kind of small glints and orbs of energy coming from the ship itself as you were leaving. And that's where we pick up, with these small glints beginning to whir and build up in this rather unpleasant sound. There's a slight flash of light, and as you begin swooping yourselves away, Andavariel kind of begins to speak towards you. Sorry, I cut that a little close there. I was actually about to go and assist with the efforts on the ground, but and her speech is cut off as this large bolt of purple energy slams into the side of her skull. She shrieks in pain before shaking it off and dives a little more as, taking a look behind you, these orbs are now starting to essentially twist a little more, build up, increase, and with a slight screech, this flurry of black and purple energy begins to scatter itself in your direction. I would like everyone to very quickly make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
I was like, I swear to God, I feel like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know, get shot with purple orbs, I guess.
I swear to God, if you were like, okay, roll incentive. Initiative.
Just immediately.
Not incentive, initiative.
Roll incentive. No, we'll roll incentive.
I thought initiative as well.
Yeah, I was like,
I also
28.
Fuck me.
28 on the dex save?
Jesus.
Yeah, 28 on my dex save.
Nice.
Mara's like, no, I have had it.
Had enough of this place.
Go on, please.
I'm gonna stop rolling virtual dice and just pull out my dice. It's 11 for now, but that's going to, you know what? There are times I'm done.
Oh God. Okay, so we.
I got a respectable 19. I got a normal number, but it was high.
19 definitely saves.
Radical.
Fantastic.
28 definitely saves, and then some. 11, and what was that from Jacaranda?
5.
Okay, I will say,
Oh my
Jacaranda,
God.
you with advantage for this, just because you have a climb speed.
Oh.
Fuck me, I guess.
So I rolled a 2 originally, and then I rolled a 1, so doesn't get better.
Okay.
Y'all don't need clerics. It's fine.
Okay. So,
Yeah. We did our job, all right? We did our job last session.
Listen, we can't just keep session bouncing that the girlfriends get hurt, okay?
I'm sorry.
Oof. Yes, episode 69. Nice. Although this
Nice.
is not going to be as nice.
No,
So-
this is
No.
not going to be.
The dragon
Bad.
has
This
been
is
struck in the
bad.
side of its head. It begins to dive and essentially evasive maneuvers. It plummets down at quite a speed as these bolts rain from this vessel, crashing and cascading into the ground below, or the water below, I should say, while also just skimming a few of you. Undavarial quickly, as you've seen before, pulls its wings back and attempts to dash and speed forwards, but it can't quite manage to she can't quite manage to evade all the shots, and she eventually has to open her wings back out and twist around in order to avoid some of the fire. Mara, you and Nawi are used to these sudden juts and jolts by now. You end up managing to hold yourself in place and move with the dragon and be able to avoid some of the more tumultuous effects.
Do I noticed Dewan and Jacaranda about to fall?
Dewan does not fall. Dewan ends up kind of jutting off to the side and ends up taking 12 points of force damage. As they jut to the side, they manage to just kind of catch themselves with their claws, but they end up taking 2 strikes of this purplish energy straight to the back as they do so.
I will
And
happily
pulls themselves across.
accept.
Jacaranda, however, as you try and move along with the rest of the party and watching what they're doing, there's a flash across your eyes that hits you of this strange, hazy, bluish hue. And it kind of distracts you for just a moment. And as you're reaching up to grab onto another part of the dragon, one of the bolts strikes your hand. You take 5 points of force damage, and you begin to fall and plummet off of Undavarial at this point.
Do I see this before she plummets?
You. What's your passive perception?
20.
Yeah.
Can I
you'd be
touch
able to
her?
see. You can probably reach out, yeah. It'd be tricky, but you got a 28, so yeah.
Okay. So this is the first time Mara's doing this. So she reaches out and she touches her and says, what would Mara would say? Fly like an eagle and touch you and cast fly.
The future.
That's okay, that's all right
Oh my
with
god, yes. Oh my god.
Space Jam, let's go. Amazing.
And actually, Mara would touch herself at the same time because she's casting it at level 5,
Oh snap!
just so she can make sure she doesn't fall. So
Sure thing. All right. You now have a flight speed, Jacaranda. As you begin to
Nice.
plummet, you're touched by Mara. You feel a surge of energy through you, and you're kind of just floating in place for a moment as the dragon begins to fly away from you. But you can
Grab on to
Re-grab
the
on.
tail end of
Yeah.
the dragon.
the tails are just like.
Please don't leave me.
Oh, thank God for that climb speed, huh?
it lasts for 10 minutes and it's a flight speed of 60.
Yeah,
Dang.
we love fly. Fly is good. Oof. Okay.
I don't like that. I don't like it when you say
All
that.
right. I was like, so how well is Undavario going to get herself through this, and then rolled poorly? So as this happens, you all begin to rock. Undavario notices and attempts to help you out, but as she does so, she ends up taking quite a bit of fire in the process as she's attempting to help you get back on and secure you. She kind of staggers in the air, and you feel a sudden jolt of inertia as she begins to slow down. She huffs, and you can sense the stifling of pain in her voice as she just says, "All right, perhaps not going according to plan. We're gonna have to make an emergency landing." And she begins to twist back upright and tug her wings back again, not the same way that she has before, but enough to kind of give herself some more speed, and begins to fly down to the island underneath you. The descent is swift as more of these bolts fly over and across your heads, past you into the ocean below, scattering sea spray as you get just low enough now. They begin to almost skim the water, slowing themselves down as best they can before essentially crashing into the shoreline here of the island. You are all safely bucked off of her back as she kind of crashes, and she begins to pull herself back up across this like small cliff face. Looking back upwards, the hail of bolts as you've now struck the island have ceased. There is a strange silence that fills the air.
Ow. Oh. Wait.
Mara's gonna cast healing word on.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm also going to cast mass healing word as well. Just kidding. Mass cure wounds.
I was gonna say I don't have any. Any.
She heals for 11, but actually before Jacaranda heals, Mara is gonna give her inspiration.
Does that?
Which you can, I think, add it to the healing. Hold on.
Yeah, because College of Swords.
It's the magical something, the new bardic inspiration. Hold on, let me look it up.
The new inspiration from Tasha's. So
right.
You can add that to basically anything.
So all of us, and the queen will get 22 hit points.
Nice.
Plus the inspiration.
Plus
I
the
think it's still a D8. Hold on, let me double check because we did just full. Bardic inspiration. Mm-hmm. No, it's a D10 now.
Haha.
Aha.
The plus sides of leveling up.
Are you rolling that or am I rolling it?
You were rolling.
10.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure I have 10.
Like the Melissa's become part of her background. Oh.
I rolled a
I have
9.
now phased into the window. 9, nice.
So
Plus the
9.
11 I rolled for my healing word.
Good stuff. Cool, yeah. Everyone can go ahead and take that healing as...
Well, the 11's just for and the queen. I can never remember her name.
Undivarial.
That's fine, you've just met Dragon Her. It's fine, it's cool. Yes, they kind of pull themselves up, and as they do so, they begin to shift. You watch as the scales recede, and there is a sigh as they're kind of stitching across a little bit of their skin that's kind of opened up with the wounds. They're about to kind of pull out this little kit and work on it with a needle until your healing comes through. There's a thorough kind of sigh of happiness, but also frustration as she runs a hand through her hair and just takes a seat exactly where she was. Just, oh my god, I'm so out of practice. Is everyone all right? Everyone okay? Everyone still here? Still breathing?
Yes. Austin is here and breathing. So in the real world, with $50 for making 1,000 tonight, I'm just saying. I know one of you 13 lovely people watching has like another $25 to get us even closer. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, Naui is like, yeah, I am feeling great now. How is everyone else? Are we okay?
I think now, I am okay, and it was difficult, before, but it seems we're okay.
This island is quiet.
It's not supposed to be. And Underfire will kind of turn towards the the other individuals who have stowed away with you, and will the NPC party that you brought along for the ride. We'll check over them real quick. Just kind of turn back towards you. Bring herself back up and dust herself off as she just Cinderin is supposed to be here. That's the whole point of the distraction. I'm not entirely sure why it's so. She kind of looks over your shoulder, Naui. You watch as her face kind of furrows a little bit. It's only about now, once the adrenaline is beginning to fade back and pull away, that the smell of ash and fire and brimstone begins to fill the air around you. And so you get a whiff of this smell, and some of you begin to take a little more interest in your surroundings. You see what was once probably a nice, quaint little society of fishers and miners just relaxing and working away on this island in their own little micro society has been reduced to nothing but rubble and burnt ruins. Rows of houses and buildings just lay shattered and destroyed. Selections of many, many, many charred corpses of these strange planar creatures, some of which you've seen before, some of which you encountered up above, and some which look unrecognizable to you. Anyone with a passive higher than 20 would, or 20 or higher, I should say, would notice that there is a distinct lack of humanoid bodies here. There also seems to be a severe lack of the strange coal-like dust that you had seen in other places during their abduction cycles.
You said we do see that, or we don't?
You don't see any of the material that was left over. You know that when the individuals are abducted, there's usually some kind of residue remaining. Mm-hmm. It looks definitely different to soot and ash, so you can tell that there doesn't seem to be any of it here.
I mean, I'm just gonna. I turn back and I see all that, and I look back at now Queen Elowen, and I'm like, what happened here? Is this the distraction? We destroyed a town?
Jacaranda's gonna vibe check as well.
Okay. Strangely enough, as you go ahead and use your sixth sense, there's a faint but definite sense of warmth and comfort around you, which is maybe a little jarring, but
It seems
it's there.
positive here. Not sure why.
Ooh. Yes, wait, that is weird. Like, a bunch of people didn't die?
I'll ask a nearby tree.
Incredible.
What happened?
There are still a few standing. Yeah, the ones kind of closer to the town area have been incinerated, but there are a few on the outskirts that you can go ahead and chat to if you wish. And you see a very particular, like, traditional tall old oak tree that has clearly been here for a long time and kind of has a lot more height than a lot of the other trees around here. You step forwards. What do you say?
Hello, are you up for some talking now? I can go away if not.
It appears as though we've reached over $1,000.
Yo!
Let's go!
Yay!
Yay!
Let's go! Hell yeah! We love that.
Who did?
It was
So that
it was-
means Master Pate gets to name an NPC.
Master
Yes.
Pate.
Master Paint, amazing. Hey, episode 69, it works.
Also,
Nice.
Airball,
Oh my God.
Airball, thank you for the
Long rest.
Yes.
Thank you.
It was
Everyone
necessary.
needed
Thank you.
Very necessary.
Thank you.
And Jesse's not that complicated, it's just hairball. Like,
Oh, it's hairball? Oh my god.
Because he streams as a cat.
I know.
Hairball.
Now that you've said it,
Yeah,
it
that
makes
more
sense.
Yeah, a lot of sense.
I'm disappointed in myself.
Sorry.
As a cat.
As a cat, I'm
As a
disappointed in
cat.
myself.
I'm something of a cat myself, Peter.
Oh, look at the blinking eyes.
But yes, we got a long rest. Woot.
Hell yeah.
Let me mark that on my sheet.
Master Paint, if you want to go ahead and throw an NPC name in the chat, and we'll have them show up at some point, either this session or a very, very close future session, depending on how things go here. Yeah, awesome, brilliant. Yeah, so you speak to this tree, and there's
Very confused. That feels very meta for a tree to say.
and you just, I suppose I have time for a chat. I'm not exactly going anywhere, so why not? What is it you need, young whippersnapper?
Well, my name's Jacaranda, so you can call me that instead. But I was curious what happened here.
Ah, young Jacaranda, it is then. Well, everything was normal until it wasn't. The large, strange lizard creature showed with some odd individuals, and then, well, strange creatures. Lots of... I don't even know what to call them. I've never encountered them before.
Did they have, like, things on their face?
I'm not entirely sure what you mean by things. Like
If I was hanging down
vines?
like this. Kind of like vines, but more fleshy.
one or two of them may have, like weird, thick vines. But most of them were just strange, four-legged creatures, I suppose. And then, well, the big lizard decided to shine for a little while, and they're somewhere in the ruins there.
You said shine? Like the sun? Like sunshine?
Like the sun, but a lot less stimulating, I guess.
Yeah.
They should
Okay,
be.
So a lizard creature like that, like a dragon, or it was different than a dragon?
Large bronze lizard thing. I'm not sure what a dragon is, but I suppose it could have been.
And they went into the ruins, you said?
They're somewhere underneath one of the houses, probably.
And do you believe that the glow caused this devastation?
No, it was the opening of the mouth and the fire and the strange fleshy creatures.
So the mouth opened, fire came out, and that's what happened?
Everything was on fire, and then it kept burning, and it's still kind of burning. And then there was a flash, and then the lizard and the people were gone.
Okay, so I know that a big lizard is a good way of describing it, but if you need a word for the future, so Jackaranda is going to draw a dragon in her notebook and then show, like, this is a dragon. So instead of saying big lizard, because I mean, like, this big is like big for a lizard, you could say like a dragon. If it's blowing fire out of its mouth and it looks like a big lizard, like a very, very big lizard, just dragon's a good word for that. Take it or leave it. I'm not going to tell you how to do your thing. But yeah, it was nice to meet you, and I hope you have a restorative... What season are we in?
Summer.
Summer. I hope you have a restorative summer.
And you as well, Jackaranda. I will make sure to commit these dragons to memory.
You'll get there.
So we, the party, were privy to this one-way conversation, right?
That's just...
Yes, we just hear Jackaranda. So a dragon? Shining like a sun.
Were they like when you say fleshy on the noises. Face?
No, but more fleshy. Oh gosh.
And you see Mara writing in her memoirs, conversations with Jackaranda. Putting in this.
It's just these comments and then just various creaking noises and then bangs. Brilliant.
So I explain about a bronze dragon. He said a big lizard. I'm assuming it's a dragon because fire happened and that's what made this. I believe... Do we know the name that they're elithids? We've been told this.
Have we been told in game? I don't
We
think so.
have not been told in game.
You've not been told exactly what they are. Y'all, as
Okay.
players, have said that they're apparently
Well, they're like
lipids.
grown-up perhapses. I mean, Logans. Sorry, Logan. And
It's all right.
they went in under a house, under the ruins.
They went
It was
under
glowing.
your house?
Why did they glow. Is that a thing that metallic dragons do?
Dragons, well, I guess they could glow, but that does not sound like a dragon I've met.
Which
I haven't met many dragons. This is a dragon-filled day for me.
I suppose
I shimmer.
I can glow. I can change the reflective nature
Okay,
of
none
my
of this
scales,
is neither
yes.
here nor there. Can you contact Sinclair?
Judging by that interesting half of a conversation, I would assume, and they begin to make their way into the ruins of this town.
She's
think
just
that
gonna
it's
walk
Sinclair?
into danger. Great.
I just stopped following her as soon as she starts walking.
Yeah, Mara starts following. She's just like, stupid dragon.
I'll start following as well.
I'll bring up the rear, but I'm gonna poke some of these charred bodies.
What is
Poke? You're gonna poke them?
Just to suss them out.
Oh, like to see if it was indeed fire that killed them?
I'm Dawn would be doing this during your one-sided conversation anyways, of just figuring out, what do you call it? I'm CSIing the scene.
Investigating?
Crime scene investigating.
Go ahead
Investigating
and roll me an investigation check to the one.
Wait, I'm not rolling the virtual dice. Go away. Do not tempt me.
My real dice gave me that 2 and a 1, so.
I got a 16.
A 16. Okay. So what exactly are you trying to ascertain here? Are you...
I mean, I just heard...
your main goal?
I heard, first of all, I'm gonna make sure that they did possibly die by dragon breath. I don't know, because in the one-sided conversation, I heard, and I saw Jacaranda trying to teach a tree the word dragon.
It can't see, right? Sorry, I'm not.
That's what the knots
Trees
are.
can, get information, from the earth.
Yeah, but,
So
you
were
drew
you
a
rubbing
picture.
the I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Yeah, no, please.
No, I don't want to know.
Please, do your,
I don't know.
resolve
You're
your
right.
role. Resolve your
It
role.
can't see, but I can see. So maybe I assume
Jacaranda's walking around like all trees can see, right?
I can see. So obviously this tree can.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna double check, but also,
I want to die. Oh my god.
I don't know, see if these charred humanoid creatures are more Logans.
Okay, so
Just
So are you
gathering
looking for
information.
squiggly faces, or are you looking for little worms?
both.
with a 16, you begin poking around these charred remains, and first of all, yes, they were most certainly destroyed by some kind of fire. These things are char-grilled. They're just ruined. They're destroyed. The few kind of bits and pieces you do gather, a couple of them that you spot look a lot like the smaller creatures that you were dealing with on the ship.
Perfect.
The rest of them are either unrecognizable or too damaged to tell. You definitely do not see bigger Logans here. Let's say.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So it's mostly grunts.
I will say that rather than drawing in the journal, Jacaranda drew it in the dirt next to the tree, the dragon. So that hopefully they could get it.
They seemed moderately receptive. I mean, yeah. So as you're As you're moving on, Dawan, you're checking this, and moving a little closer to the site, the smell of burning and ash and fire kind of begins to... It turned from like just a hint to now like assailing your senses. Your eyes are beginning to water as all of this smoldering ruin surrounds you.
Dawan's gonna pass out cloth masks for everyone.
You're just gonna pass out. I'm like, what happened?
I'm done, I'm out. Bye.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
We were on that ship for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to bring Lupa down. And me and Lupa are gonna start tracking the scent of the ship. Like, Lupa is sniffing and I am also sniffing. Wild Girl style, so we're trying to track the scent of the ship if these things are supposedly hiding out somewhere.
Okay.
If Queenie's trying to like walk in somewhere to call Sinclair or whatever, now he's like, well, we need to get the scent of these things. So you see Lupa like walking around, and then you see Naui like start fucking crawling around the ground, also sniffing.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
And y'all were thinking I was weird for poking the bodies.
Wild girl, she's your girlfriend.
Why do you think we're dating?
Yes.
No fucking shit. Natural 20 for a 26 total.
Nice. Good stuff. We like to see it. Okay. So you and Lupa begin doing this, and at first it's a lot more difficult than you realize, trying to sift through a lot of this burnt remains. You end up kind of sifting past that in your mind, almost like filtering out all of the distractions in your senses. You begin to hone in. It's not actually you who picks it up, it's Lupa who picks it up.
Damn it,
There's a faint, a very faint smell of something on the other side of this ruined house, and it is very faint, but it's definitely there, and you kind of feel that connection and that link as Lupa begins to relay this information to you. You watch her kind of like bolt up, her ears come up, and she's almost sentry mode, kind of just taking a look at the surroundings, still sniffing.
What is it?
She pauses for a moment, and without even speaking, she begins to make her way around the other side of the house.
I wouldn't want to scream, so I would knock on... Duan, it's me. We found something. I didn't want to shout. We're over here, and I feel like you probably feel like a Google Maps, like which way I went to like bring people.
Wait, what do you mean you didn't want to shout? Why didn't you just use your ring?
What ring? We don't have... Oh, did you give me a ring and I forgot about the ring? I am sorry. We just started... What ring?
Have you not had your... Now, remember those rings, mind shielding? Do you remember?
No.
We're gonna have to look through your belongings when we, at some point,
Oh.
somewhere there is a ring of mind shielding.
Is it something important? I have Lupa keep my important thing. She probably has it.
Where? I don't want to know. Yes.
Okay.
We'll ask Lupa. But okay, I'm gonna
use your ring to
use my ring to talk to the party. Also, Naui hasn't had a ring this entire time, but we're gonna solve this issue.
Leading around the other side of this particular ruined house, you see What was once a mostly wood construction is now mostly charcoal, but there was some kind of large supporting beam keeping up the roof. That beam has now collapsed, and pinned underneath one half of this beam, definitely incredibly wounded but not fully deceased as of yet, is one of the larger creatures that you encountered on that ship. The large four-legged hound-like creature. You can see that its spiked tail has been pinned and crushed underneath this beam, and most of its body has also been pinned. It's only kind of like the front part that's very weakly trying to pull itself out and away, but you can see there's not much life left in this thing.
You speak with animals.
Okay.
And I try and talk to this thing. I don't know if this will work. I don't know what you are. Did this work? You seem like an animal. Sort of.
It, you think, looks up to you, which is very unnerving considering this thing does not have a face. But like this kind of middle, like fleshy blob section kind of angles its way towards you. And you feel some kind of very weak attempt to get inside your head. But it's almost so weak that you, as a trained individual, can just brush it off. Kind of almost subconsciously.
Okay, so it worked. I don't know if that was you trying to talk. So if you try something funny, Lupa will just eat you. And I want to help. So if you want to just talk, you can go ahead. But if it's something funny, and I just like gesture to Lupa, who's probably already growling and foaming. I let it try whatever it was gonna do to see if it wants to just talk to me. With Lupa on held action, like just kill it.
Okay. You open up that window just a little bit, and you feel your consciousness connect to this creature. And there's a very weak message that comes through. That I don't think is in a language you recognize now that I think about it.
Which does it follow telepathy rules, which is it auto translates? That's how mine works. Okay.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't auto translate. But I know this thing can think. I will use my mental link, which auto translates, and say, "Do you understand me now?"
Understand. Yes.
Okay. Good. All right. So you look like you are about to die, and I'm guessing you don't want that. So if I help you, will you not hurt me?
Why is it cold?
Because you are dying.
I don't. Who are you?
I am someone that wants to help you not die. You will not attack me, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now I will have Lupa heal and pull some like dried leaves and balm out of her bag and cast Cure Wounds on this thing to at least take it away from Death's Door. And I will roll that. I'll also try and free it, but I'm guessing other people will like get here and want to do stuff before that happens. Hot shit. 10 HP.
Okay. As this is happening, Dewan, you've spoken to the rest of your party at this point. What is everybody else doing? Or planning on doing?
Elwyn in her humanoid form and not in her dragon form anymore. Okay. Mara is gonna say, apparently Nolly found something.
That's, as in, to do with the current situation or something else?
What did Dawan relay?
I would just relay that now you had found something behind the ruins. Because that's all that Naui relayed to me.
Okay, and Naui found something behind the ruins. I assume it has to do with the current situation, since it's here.
Good. Let's follow their lead then. I'll accompany you.
Mara wasn't going to let the queen continue on without her. Even though she signed the paperwork, she still doesn't trust that she would not be blamed if the dragon ended up dead.
You sauntering along, I suppose. Yeah, you can bring Elowen with you as you probably turn the corner just as this kind of like healing spell completes. And you see the same thing that Naui is looking at, this strange kind of fleshy creature.
You also see Naui clearly healing it.
Yes. It's got a very bulbous like torso that's very kind of plain and grayish. Very kind of like smooth, leathery skin. Its arms look like they belong to a different creature. It looks like it's just been stitched onto the side. They're a little more kind of bird-ish. They've kind of got that kind of texture down, and this set of 4 claws on each hand. And again, no face, no like defining features, but it looks strange, certainly. You do recognize like just underneath the very clear spine-like tail, just pinned underneath, unable to move. And you would come round just as Naui has very, very clearly finished healing this creature a little bit. It doesn't seem to respond to the heal exactly. It is definitely, some of its wounds have definitely been patched, but it itself as a consciousness seems indifferent.
Now I could. Oh, 1 second. Hi, everybody.
Naui, what are you doing?
This thing was hurt, and I was helping it.
Why? But Dawan is going to, when she says like, "Oh, why are you healing the flesh blob?" This is a chimera creature, right? And I just read a whole bunch of books from good old Ninit.
You did.
And of course, my girlfriend's trying to heal a flesh blob. I'm going to trust her intuition here, run some sort of diagnostic medicine check. Using the chimera knowledge that I learned from Ninit, just because clearly it looks like it's still not in good shape at all, right? It's still dying.
Roll a medicine check.
Yes, thank you.
Logan, can you blur its mind so it can't communicate with the people on the ship?
Yes.
I mean, these things are, Yeah, sure, I got you. And he kind of like Professor X's his fingers up to his temple, just kind of closes his eyes for a moment. And he just falls silent as he's concentrating on this. What was your roll there?
28.
28.
28.
Okay. God damn. You read a lot. You read a hell of a lot while you were in the Verdant Vale. One on interplanar creatures, but also on chimerism and the difference between creatures that are naturally chimeras and creatures that are forced to be chimeras. You look at the section of the arms and the kind of like the blob in the center, and as you get a little closer, there's some very, very faint like marks in the section of the legs and the sections of the torso. With a 28, you're there and you're looking for a good long time, and you're just like just scouring through your memory, and then it hits you. You've seen a creature like this before. Not on the ship. That one's obvious. You've seen a creature like this before. Long time ago.
Is it that?
With the same kind of markings. In a large cave.
Yes.
With a fusion of two creatures. And the markings across the section of its body that join this very clearly different entity to this one is exactly the same as the ones that you recognized from that creature all that time ago.
Is it the same creature?
No.
No, just
not
markings,
exactly
just
the
the
same
markings
creature.
are the same.
Just the markings are the same. This is very clearly the same person's handiwork. Or the same magic's handiwork.
Is there a way? Well, first, Mar, did you see the markings? You saw the markings. Mar would remember the markings.
We're talking about the Kruthic worm hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then yeah, Dawn would just, Mara, look at these markings. Remember the Kruthic worm? It's the same cast, the same person.
So either one of two things are happening. The Luna Cerritos is working with these beings from that other plane, or the beings from the other plane have infiltrated the Luna Cerritos and are doing their own experimentation.
I don't like either of those options.
And I don't think we're any closer to finding out which it is.
Sorry, I just realized the text thing. Give me a second. Is there a way for me to make it so that this creature is not fatally wounded?
Noe has patched it up to the point where it is no longer on death's door.
Okay.
It is not healthy by any means, but it's not going to perish.
Okay.
It is still very much injured and pinned, but like it's alive enough.
Oh.
As you kind of vocalize this realization, there is a long and heavy sigh from Queen Elowin as she just whenever the plot thickens, why can't it ever be a good thing? Why does it always have to be? Never mind.
Would this isn't from here, is it? Would it be beneficial to send it back?
She looks towards Noe, who she assumes is still communicating with her.
Oh.
You are muted.
Austin, you're muted.
I thought I was muted before and I hit the button, so sorry if you hear me click clacking. Everybody in chat, all you wonderful donation people. Now I am like about to like lift the pillars things under like I'm sorry, what was that? What are we doing?
Should we see if it wants to just go back to its home dimension, or would that be beneficial?
I could ask. Do you want to? Okay, so like someone brought you here and then they left you here. Do you want to go home to wherever that is?
Yes, I would like to go home.
Will you be safe at home?
Yes.
Do I get the sense that they... I want to... Okay, me, Austin, and now we want to make sure I'm not sending this thing to go get, like, used, abused, and to die? Do I get the vibe that, like, it'll be safe at home, or that it's just gonna get, like, sent, like, right back out? Does it feel like this thing thinks I'll go home and be safe, or it's like, I'll go home and, like, does it, you know?
It's not going to be very hard, but yeah, insight check for this one. It's not going to be too hard because it's not attempting to be deceptive, but
that's another actual 20.
What?
Where was this 2 weeks ago?
Listen, it's for Save
for
the
kids.
Children.
Yeah, it's for the
Let's see
charity.
Let's see these donos for these 20s. Let's see them. Let's see these donos.
Okay. So with a natural 20, you immediately get the vibe that it believes that it will be safe. Whether it will actually be safe is another matter entirely. But there is something up with this thing. There is something very, very human about this incredibly alien creature.
I don't like that. I don't like that from
Okay. I have one more idea. I first ask it, do I have its consent to use a spell on it?
Yes.
Okay, I want to... It doesn't really work like this, but I'm pulling at, I think you'll think this is cool enough. I want to, like, touch this thing and expand my use of beast sense to, like... I want the senses I want to feel this thing's emotions about home and whoever's in charge of it. Since I've, like, primed the pump, so to speak, it's like thinking about home and whoever it came from. Like, I want to see how it feels. I would, as a therapist, I would say emotions are a sixth sense of a sort. Pulls out therapy license to get ready to say yes.
Roll me a d20.
I have a master's degree, and I will debate it. 18.
Okay. This is a bit of a weird experience for you. You've spoken to people, you've spoken to animals, you've shared the senses of various different creatures, but nothing quite so strange and otherworldly as this. I'm gonna say that you succeed, but navigating a consciousness that does not function the same way that something from this plane does, I am gonna say you're gonna take a point of exhaustion.
Fair. Absolutely don't even mind it, because I can get a point of exhaustion for short rest as a ranger.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so you push this psychic and mental connection very quickly to its limits, to a way that you haven't really done before. And you come to a realization that this creature does not feel. It is just trying to mimic what it understands. Its mind is trying to fill in the gaps. It has had its senses and its feelings cut off from it entirely, almost as if it's like a reproduction of a consciousness. It doesn't actually know what it's feeling at all. It's just trying to fill the gap. and whatever you are currently speaking to is false. It's just a placeholder that's been placed in this creature.
Okay, so what you're saying is the things I'm feeling are not congruent with the thing I'm talking to.
Yeah, when you connect with your beast sense, you feel nothing. Like, the only thing you would feel is the fact you don't feel anything. Just this profound emptiness, this lack of connection and emotion to a degree that you almost feel robotic in a way. It's very strange to experience in regards to your own feelings mixing with this just void, essentially.
And the consciousness I am talking to, what I'm saying is it feels like the consciousness I'm talking to is not the thing I am talking to. It's like they're two separate things.
The thing that you're talking to is replying, but you feel like it is just a person's consciousness that has basically been put in there by magic or something of some description. Like, it's not actually real. This thing is just a placeholder that's been placed there that has a bunch of generic answers. You're basically you're talking like you've called up a phone and you've gotten a robot on the other end. That's basically what you've done. Like,
okay, now it turns around. We can't send it back.
We cannot send it back?
No.
What? Why?
It is suffering in a way it cannot even understand. It you know how there are like stories about people who can use magic to force you to do things? This thing was made to be like that forever, I think. It is I don't know if we could ever help it, but if we send it back, it's just going to be sent out again to die for these monsters.
Could it be those markings that are making it like that?
I'm not sure what those are.
Could it be those markings that are making it like that?
No.
Okay.
From your understanding, the arcane runes are literally there to keep the creature together. Yeah. It's not a natural chimera. It's a man-made one. So it needs that kind of consistent magic to make sure it doesn't just fall apart.
So we're assuming that it without that magic, it wouldn't be anything.
If the runes were to be removed, the creature would just fall apart and return to whatever kind of sludge it was that made it.
Because, like, with the worm Kruthic, we know, like, okay, well, a worm and a Kruthic were merged somehow, so we'd assume that there was something that, like, or two things that made it up, whereas here we're not sure what made it.
Yeah, in this particular instance, both creatures don't look recognizable. Whatever's been, like, mushed together here, you have no idea what the individual components were.
Okay.
They are not something that you would recognize currently.
We can take it and maybe try and figure it out. Maybe we'll understand more about them and it and what they are doing, but I don't think we should just send it back.
Well, if it's a man-made chimera, then are we really even sending it home? Or are we sending it back to wherever it was made? And if we keep it, it's being held together with magic that isn't ours. Wouldn't whoever made this be able to follow that magic?
I don't know. Can you follow your magic?
My magic doesn't make creatures like this. I don't know.
I mean, I can't follow Lupa. I made her.
I just don't know if we...
Mara turns to Elowen and she says, Your Queenliness, can I get you to step around the corner, please?
She pauses and, like,
we need
looks
to
towards...
talk away from the children.
Looks towards, like...
Kids
out of
the store.
She looks towards you, looks towards Torn and Logan and Odeon, and just kind of goes, would you mind helping me look for Sinclair, please? And kind of beckons them a little closer and just kind of nods towards you and heads around the corner and just off.
Logan, go ahead and drop the obfuscation.
All right.
Mara casts tongues on herself. She walks up to the critter.
The critter.
And looks for eyes-ish.
Something not have any.
Well, anyway, she gets really close. And she says, I'm talking to you on the other end. I'm coming for you. And then she takes her swords and cuts the being in half.
So we're assuming it can hear what's happening then?
And as she's cleaning off her blade, she's like, they're a hive mind. Whoever created this could hear everything that we were saying when Logan wasn't blocking it.
Well, that's nice for Logan to let us know.
Logan told us before that it was a hive mind. That all the beings on the ships were connected.
I don't think me and Jack got told that. I think Logan told y'all that one.
Logan's on the roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all were not privy to that. You two were not privy to that information.
Dawn and Mara are going, yeah, we shouldn't bring this back. Now and Jacaranda are sweet. Oh no.
So, yeah, this quick flourish. You bisect this thing, and there's not even a sound. It just jumps to the ground. You do notice a small stone kind of like slip out of the remains. Very kind of thin, ovular, and kind of looks like a mix between like a piece of glass and a pearl. There's definitely that kind of like the clearness of glass around the outside, but then there's this kind of scattered something in the center with a mix of like pinks and blues and things.
Does it look like the same material the cone was made out of?
No, this looks different.
Dawan, if you want to gather that, but don't put it in a bag of holding. We've learned our lesson.
Yeah, Dawn's I'll pick it up in like in a cloth and stick it in a jar. And once I pocket it and wipe my hands of whatever, I'm just going to I'm going to touch Naui's hand just to make sure she's okay.
I was like in its brain, and I cannot describe what it feels like to feel something die. So I think Naui is unresponsive currently.
Then that one's just going to slip her hand like fully into Naui's hand and like grip. You don't need to respond, but that's just what Dawn does.
I think she says just to you, so am I not to save anyone on this mission?
There was a reason.
Like to cast hold person, but like with my arms.
So
I say just you mean like in your head.
Yeah.
I should, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to respond also mentally. There's a reason why we could not save this creature specifically. And I will explain it to you later. But we will rescue people.
I think she just sighs, and T-poses waiting. I'm done. I think she just sighs mentally.
It's probably about now that there's a slight rumble that you feel. Not massively so, just the sound of a lot of wood and rubble beginning to move. There's a bright flash of light coming from what seems to be like 5 or 6 houses down, that kind of comes over the ruins here. You see as that light fades, the slight shimmer of bronze scales as both wings over in a dome, kind of rising up a little and beginning to kind of bring up its wings and scatter the rubble to both sides. You see the familiar visage of Cinderix, as you now know them as, pulling themselves up and kind of like dropping both wings to the side and just stretching themselves out a bit. As you do so, you notice hanging from one side of their face, giggling away, is this little air genasi girl who's like swinging her legs and giggling and like clinging on to Cinderix's horn and just kind of just laughing the place away, essentially, as they kind of, if a dragon could look super grumpy, that's basically what they'd be doing the old granddad grump as they slowly slide their head down back towards the ground. You feel the slight kind of douche as the chin hits the ground. You begin to hear a little bit more kind of chatter and conversation beginning to break out as, now that the wings have been brought away, a few of what you assume would be the individuals who lived here begin to make their way out, kind of hopping over a little bit of the rubble and things like that, discussing between each other and themselves.
Ara would say, taking a nap, old man?
Old? I'll have you know I'm still spry for my age. Rude. Like lets out a little puff of flame. Stretches their wings up and out again, and you can see like pretty much the entirety of the town. Not to mention the wyverns and the fighters were shielded underneath the wings. There looks to be a few injured individuals in their midst, but no casualties, it seems. They'll look towards you, just, if you don't mind me saying, you look like hell.
We might have been through it.
What was all this?
Well, whatever you did up there upset them so much that it bought me time.
To save everyone.
Time enough to hide these people, so...
Okay. Good.
Thank you.
So, are they still hidden? Should we...
Are we safe?
Help them?
Cinderix looks up towards the skies as this cloud of, like, black and purple has slowly begun to recede from where it was. And slowly but surely it slinks back into the portal it created for itself, and has been during this whole escapade. It's about now that kind of like only the front of the ship is showing. Little Cinderix will look back down to you and just, it would appear so. As I say, whatever you did, it scared them.
We meant to do that.
Oh, I did not. I got captured and had to fight a lot, and we all almost died.
Oh, that's what the plan was. I
was gone for the meeting, so...
Infiltration and distraction.
Never a sneaking mission.
I think we almost had it, and that's why I ran away, and that's why they are leaving. I think we scared them. We are pretty strong ladies.
Well, they haven't ever returned to the same place, so I think these people are safe once that portal closes. And then we should probably head back to the castle and debrief.
We should plot where it's gonna come back.
Maybe we can help them with... And now he gestures to their town.
Yeah, that was my main question of what happened here, but I don't think that was answered.
Oh no, I don't think they realized. I think they were just like, they'd come out and like, you were like, what happened here? They're like, well, I just protected these people. I
think on now he's like, perhaps we could, perhaps before we leave, we could help with, and gestures for them to look.
They'll pop their wigs up and kind of look around, now actually like kind of standing up to their height, and oh, that's what you meant.
That one's gonna go over to the wounded as well to start helping and heal. But before she does, she's going to take both of Naoi's hands and say, "See, we saved some, and we'll be back for the others."
Hey.
And
Thank you.
And then just a gentle peck and a squeeze. Because gay. Before
and
I'm off to cast mass healing word on all those injured. Come gather around.
First, I'll do the up to halfway point thing I can do, which
life cleric.
Because in the original game I played, that we never played with that, so I didn't even realize that was a thing. So I'm just like, look, it's 45 hit points. Go, go, go! Like, it was awesome. But this is much harder to manage. So 45 hit points dispersed, and it can't go above half of their total hit points.
Okay. There's not too many injured, thankfully, and no one desperately.
Okay.
Looks to be a few kind of like minor wounds here and there. Yeah, as you kind of come over and Cinderix kind of pulls themselves back down a bit and just, yes, I did not quite realize how much of an issue that was. Okay. The distraction worked, to be direct about things, I guess you could say. We had pulled their ire. There had been many of their strange abominations of creatures that had rushed the place, but thankfully by the time we got them down here, my men had already sorted some kind of shelter, or so we had thought, until there was some kind of strange individual who showed up. Not like them, humanoid. relatively tall. Strange garb, some mix between a robe and armor. Pulled out this large pole arm of sorts and seemed to join the battle. It wasn't until a little bit of time had passed until we realized it was on the other side. I then decided to take matters into my own hands, spewed my breath out to deal with them, and she simply raised her hand and threw it back at me. I've never seen something like that before.
Share her visage with us, and if not, can you allow Nawi to see the visage, and then Nawi can share it with us?
I'm afraid I'm pretty spent in terms of my magical abilities today.
You could just let me in your head.
Certainly.
Salute?
Go ahead. As you do that, there is a very clear visage of the flames kind of being shot from Cindrix and scattering across whoever this individual was. And you watch as the fire kind of curls and begins firing backwards into the town itself and across Cindrix, who's using their wings as shields. You can see a lot of these other creatures, these kind of like the ones that you've already seen, but a few others, these strange kind of winged creatures, very similar to the ones that you've already seen, but a little wider and a little flatter. And then you see this woman ahead. You identify them pretty well. This blue, kind of like green-esque, beautiful robe, which kind of leads up to this very pretty and ornate leather section of armor. This large kind of halberd in one hand. They appear to be a shifter woman. Kind of a little plain in the kind of like in the front of their face. Older, nice complexion, but mostly kind of like a slightly darker skin. It's only around the outside of her face that kind of pulls back into some kind of avian feather pattern. And she seems to be wearing this, not quite like a visor, but some kind of protective layer across a section of her face and her eyes. So you're not quite able to see like eye color or anything like that. But yes, definitely an older shifter individual.
I would just describe her to everyone. Feel like it's fresh enough that I could like just do that.
Yeah, you can 100% just riff it off as you're seeing it, basically.
Is it anyone any of us recognize, including the NPCs?
The armor certainly sounds familiar. The robe less so, but the armor itself is definitely indicative of the Lunas Solitas. It's the same kind of patterns across it, but the rest of the visage does not sound particularly does not bring up any particular memories. You have also only seen a few shifters up until this point, so you don't exactly have a wide pool to
right.
to scan through.
But it's not anyone that Ton recognizes, him also being a feathered shifter. Yes, I am being racist. I am being racist.
Don't all know each
feathered
other.
shifters know all other feathered shifters.
I mean, I only know cat shifters, so.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me an insight check? Ugh, God damn it.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. There's a very tiny reaction from Torn, but it's not exactly you're not entirely sure if that's indicative of anything or more just the fact that Torn doesn't really see a lot of his own kind to a degree. He's not met many shifters himself, considering he travels mostly. He's been away from home for a very long time, so you're not entirely sure whether that's something further or whether that's just, oh, weird.
On. Does this Luna Sarita person sound familiar?
I'm aware of a few of them, as you might know, but this one doesn't particularly spark a memory. Disconcerting, though, considering the description. You've met a few of those already. You know how powerful they can be.
Mara would message to Queen Elowen. I think we're going to have to get the Magikarnum involved. Even though I don't trust them completely, but they need to get their people in line. Or root out the evil if someone has infiltrated their ranks.
It's certainly going to be a talking point, that's for sure. Let's just focus on helping these people the best we can right now. We'll head back, we'll all talk, and figure out what the next steps are. This has been a lot, to say the least.
Yes. The very least. And then Mara would send for Shikari to come down.
Mm-hmm.
Then just start helping people. She figures the soldiers are going to take the lead since they're probably used to rebuilding after they've destroyed stuff. So Mara would just pitch in where needed because she hires people for this stuff, so
incredible.
She has no idea.
You guys don't have a guy for this? I have a guy for this. You guys don't have a guy for this?
Right? It's like, Queen, aren't you just gonna tell some people to come help these people?
Aren't you just airdrop in like a new town or something? Aren't you rich?
You ever played like Civilization? Come on, like you just press a button and the town just appears. It's easy.
Now he's having Lupa give kids dog rides, and she started like moving rubble and stuff, strong girl style.
Cool.
And she will continue to do so until she's told that like the cleaning
get on the ship, we're leaving.
Yeah, like the cleaning crew's here, it's time to go.
Mm-hmm. You definitely see Elowen step aside for just a moment as they kind of dance this small incantation between their fingertips. And after a little while, you can see that the ship that has been stationed that brought you here is slowly coming down and is going to eventually pick you up from the island. But once that incantation is done, Elowen will go ahead and join the efforts here. She just gets her hands dirty straight away, starts pulling aside sections of rubble and Whoever decides to help can certainly help, but no pressure to do so. The ship's going to take a little while to get through, so you can at least begin to kind of help clear what you can. Lupa is certainly a main attraction for the kids at this point, as as the dog rides are well received.
Mara would have Shikari hunt.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, there's a good few like kids mixed in with this little group, and it seems like a lot of their stores were damaged or destroyed in the ensuing chaos. So,
can I do like purify food and drink as a ritual to help with that?
You absolutely can. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, certainly. As this is all happening, the ship does eventually kind of come in a little, and there's this very spry, very enthusiastic tiefling individual that like jumps off of this little landing pad and rushes up to Eloin and just starts just word spaghetti in Infernal, and I don't know who speaks it. If anyone here speaks Infernal.
Draconic.
Nope, not Mara. And she had tongues on, not comprehend languages, so.
Okay. Tongues is speaking, though, right? You can understand whatever's spoken to you.
Tongues is not understanding what's spoken to me. It's me speaking to other things. Comprehend languages is me understanding.
I see. Yeah, there's just this word spaghetti in Infernal, and you see Eloin's face just blanken. It's just like this, not even like just pure confusion as she's staring at this individual, and they've stepped out, and they're kind of they're decked out in this this kind of like lightweight plate armor that is probably a size, maybe 2 sizes too big for them. They kind of clank as they move. They're pretty nimble, even that being said. And this kind of small short sword on one side and a shield on their back that looks far too big for their weedy frame. They look like if they tried to wield it, they just drop it immediately. And looking at the queen being confused, they just sorry about that. I dearly apologize. I kind of forget that not everyone speaks that, but that's fine. I'm proud to say that the mission was a success.
Who are you?
What mission?
Who are you?
We are the people who did the... were you like the command center for the mission? I've never seen you before.
You smell weird.
I look at Dwayne. Can he smell me? That seems weird, right?
I am a tree, so I don't smell weird for a tree, but maybe for a human?
Was he talking to... I thought you smelled great. Is he
pulls out the little like short sword, flicks it out and towards you in like a fencing motion, and just, you're probably one of those, aren't you? On guard.
What is
those?
Mara? Do you want to handle this one, or...
Mara, do you want to give him a hug?
Nah, that's okay.
Whoa, vibe check failed.
Immediately everyone is, oh, you're not good.
They immediately like step in front of Queen Eloin in a protective stance, like one hand back, like sword forwards, and you just see a hand just kind of pressed onto their shoulders. I think I am more than sufficiently protected, especially from our friends and allies here. They'll look up. Queen Eloin. Look back towards you. Look back up. back towards you. Slowly lower their sword. Just. I've got my eye on you anyway.
I say in their fucking head, I have my mind on you.
I shift and hiss at them.
Ooh, what kind of devilish sorcery is this?
You are literally a devil, I say in their heads.
How dare you? I've been told I'm wonderful company.
Could do better.
By who?
By what?
By... This is all ridiculous.
You started it. Who are you?
And they, like, shift themselves forwards, like, chest out, but there's not a lot of chest there, so, the armor just kind of, like, clanks and, like, awkwardly grinds a little. They come up to a very straight-standing position. They slide the shield off their back into their hands, pull it up to their chest, blade out towards the sky, and just, I am Pitt the Great, at your service. And as they bow, the shield continues to topple, and they just fall head over heels, right onto the ground, and like,
Do you need some help?
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
help. Don't help it. Don't. This is a learning lesson.
Did you hurt? Are you hurt? Do you need
I'm
to
not
be...
hurt. It takes a lot more than that to hurt me.
So what did you do on the mission? Were you told there was an outside team? Were you on the outside team?
Were you
Wasn't
outside the outside team?
Outside team. I was the one who, and then puts the sword back. Click. I was the one who arranged the whole escapade. And Queen Elwyn kind of leans back over, just. He's the bus boy.
Us?
Like he cleans
What?
your bed?
Like he does
He's
the
the
dishes?
one who washes the dishes and the
Oh.
you know the laundry and things like that.
Okay.
Why is he so delusional? Is he under a spell?
I don't. And her speech is interrupted. She's and another thing. I am definitely the more tactical-minded of sorts on the ship, especially in comparison to what could have happened here. Goodness, you have me to thank for that, so you are welcome.
I gesture to the
wait, so-
town that's on fire.
Well, yes, there were some minor difficulties. If our friend, like just begins staring down this huge bronze dragon.
Well, this was your plan. Surely you knew that this dragon.
Yes, certainly. My. There's the occasional clink, clink, clink of his ankles and knees like knocking together. This is totally my. I have outdone myself this time. That's for sure.
Are you sure you're okay? Because you seem a bit flustered to me. There's a lot happening.
I'm absolutely fine.
I'm
They
sure.
don't call me the Great for nothing.
I think you're the only one who's called you that so far. So it could be.
Mara says to Dewan, I'm surprised Shikari didn't eat him.
Well,
I'm holding myself back from eating him. He's so obnoxious.
I understand that not everyone has respect for given titles, but still it's rather...
But who gave
not
it to you?
Who?
Did you give it to you?
That's
Well,
I don't think you can give yourself a title.
you know, King, Herbal Wendell Witz.
I am
Herbal
here,
tea?
but that's not a person. Right? That's not a person?
The King Herbal Wendell Witz. Yes, absolutely. That's one of the most popular monarchs in all of Vega.
Mara, is that a person?
The
No.
We're with the queen. The king?
Well, not the monarch of this land, of course. The honourable Queen Elowin rules over Ansire, but there are other kingdoms, other places.
So you worked at a different kingdom, but you got fired and came to work here.
I was not fired. I simply required a change in scenery.
If this is the scenery you required, she gestures to the burning town again.
Well, again, this wasn't exactly fully worked out in terms of damage control, but I did fantastically well with everything else.
But what though? What
gone.
did you do? Like, which things did you do specifically? What's one thing that you did do, and who saw you do that thing besides you?
How tall is this? How tall is Pete again?
Oh, like 4'11".
Okay, so there's just like
4 tall, strong women standing.
I was gonna say there's like a 7-foot tree creature towering up.
Yeah, this little 4'11", like twinkie tiefling.
Pathetic.
They've got like a little goatee coming down. They've got like twirled mustache.
Right,
Like they are.
What kind of horns?
Yeah. They are like straight up and back, not curled, with what seems to be like, at a glance, if you didn't know any better, like these beautiful like gold encrusted like toppers for the horns themselves. In reality, they're actually closer to like a tin foil or an iron pyrite kind of thing. Like very much like, if you know how metal works, like they're not gold. They're not at all gold. In fact, like looking at their armor now, for those of you with slightly higher passive, I say slightly higher, like anything above a 13, you'd be able to notice this. Their like golden armor is actually just an old set of iron that's been painted, and the paint's beginning to like chip and fray off like around the sections here.
Before anyone answers she looks, you make my head hurt, so I'm going to go on the ship now, and just like walks past.
Bloody rude. Absolutely bloody rude.
Do you remember what you opened with? You smell weird.
She gets halfway up, Lupa walks by and just like blows snot in their face and goes up to the
yes.
As they do so, like they wipe this away. You can see that it's beginning to congeal with whatever kind of foundation they had on to make their skin look clearer. So it's like it's coming off. There's like a little run of mascara across like a section. The eyeliner's beginning to fade and break as they're just.
Dalmon's going to walk over to Pate the Great and say, "Well, Pate the Great, I would say can't wait to see you on the ship. However, you did such a fantastic job doing your mission that I'm sure you'll do just as an amazing job as you help clean up this town. Have fun."
Skipping the chain of command, I don't take orders from you. And as they begin to kind of finish that sentence, it's almost like the anime-esque, like they look over your shoulders and there's just this black silhouette of Queen Elowin with like shining silver eyes. Like there's a twinkle in both, and he just well, of course I excel in everything I do. They don't call me great for no reason. I shall get right to it right at this moment. And pull out this sword again, give it a flourish, place it in the holster, and begin walking away. And as soon as they walk like 3 steps, they immediately kind of cower and recoil at the dragon that has just been staring at them this entire time.
Does Pate hug Mara?
I just realized we got a $20.
Yeah, we did.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we did.
So as Pate. Oh, no hugs. This is Sparta. This is
Okay.
fine. Okay, we're good. We're good. I just had to check the donation there, but then you threw it in the chat anyway. I still feel like there's this moment of like when they're stepping past, they give a look towards the party and just a little as they continue on.
I will kind of like follow a bit, and I'll say, I think you would like to make friends, but the way you're going about it doesn't seem to be prudent. I think if you tone it down a tiny bit, you're kinder to people, and you just sometimes your actions speak for themselves. You don't need to build up actions, especially if you haven't done them. I'm not saying that you didn't, but we don't have proof that you did. So just, I hope, I want things to go better for you when you meet people again. So maybe you smell weird, you shouldn't say that to anybody. Maybe in private. If it's really a big issue and you think it would help them, but not in front of people. Okay, well, it will be nice to meet you next time, hopefully. And then she walks away.
Not this time, though.
Mara turns to Elwyn and says, if the captain ever tires of him, you can send him to Stonehaven. I have a couple of fledgling birds who need taking care of, and those horns might make great perches.
Screaming.
Oh.
I will make sure to make a note of that.
Oh my god.
They are certainly a character. And Jacaranda, as you break away and
Mara's just like, this guy's gonna get himself killed.
Yeah, Jack, as you move away and kind of rejoin the rest of the party flow, you just hear under his breath, it's just so hard. It's just so difficult.
I don't care, Pate. Sorry. Doesn't your behavior, Pate? You said I smell.
Upon first meeting.
It's just so difficult. There's so much going on. And like as they're walking away to help out with some of the clearance going on.
Poor Pete. Oh.
No, not poor Pate. He brought this upon himself.
He rolled up and was like, you smell weird. What? I'm already subconscious about it. She's a nature girl. She doesn't deodorant in. She already feels bad. Been sweating all day.
You almost died, like twice.
I almost died.
Mm-hmm.
Mara smells like Jacaranda because she revived her.
You got the lavender
The Jacaranda
lilac.
petals.
There's still a few like caught in the leather armor here and there that you're gonna have to fish out at some point. Like it's cool. As the ship has now properly secured itself and it's ready to take on a few individuals, Cindrix makes their way over as carefully as they can to Queen Evelyn, and there's a quick discussion in Draconic as Cindrix says, "Did anyone see you doing that there? I am a little concerned if..." No, I'm fine, really. It's... What needed to happen, and the people are safe. That's the most important part. You perhaps should stay like this, at the very least, until everything is done and sorted here. And I will need you to oversee things. as you wish. I will do my best. I won't push people too hard. Things went well today. People are alive. People that I did not expect to be alive after all this, so... It is
Mara
as good a
would
victory
glare
as
at
we could
him.
have wished.
Were you expecting me to be dead? Were you looking at me when you said that?
No. It's very rude to butt into a convo just because you understand the language doesn't mean you were invited to the conversation. Not that I do not appreciate your company, but also, like...
Well, like, it's not like you're whispering.
With his two dragon hands, he just...
Hey.
I will give you a full debriefing when I am back at the castle. And I will hopefully see you in the next few days. Try not to die when I am not there. And there's a little smile as the dragon turns themselves and begins to rejoin the efforts. Elowen rolls her eyes and looks towards you, Mara. Just, please, don't take any offense to his old man ramblings.
That's right, he is old. Mara walks towards the ship.
There's a turn and some daggers, and Edelman just goes, we're all old. We just are. You need to get over this. And just begins. As you kind of make your way towards the ship, there's this conversation of Edelman, like, really trying to stress this in the background. And yeah, the clearing and rebuilding begins as you and your party begin to make their way back onto the airship and head back to Scythia. Unless there's any last business that anyone would take care of.
We saved the town. Let's go save
Wonderful.
another one.
All right, and with that, we shall go ahead and wrap up the session, and therefore wrap up Collab in Color at an amazing $1,022.38.
Thank you all so much.
For relief in Ukraine. Thank you all so much.
To see it.
For everybody who has donated across this stream, across the other streams with our wonderful collab partners. Yeah, I'll go into that in a little bit, but first of all, let's give the cast just a chance to say who they are and plug whatever they would like to plug, if they would like to. Gonna start with Rochelle.
Hi, I'm Rochelle, Dragon Gem here on Twitch, the Dragon Gem on Twitter. I stream on my own channel on Saturdays and Sundays at 3 Mountain Time. All proceeds from my channel are donated to local animal shelters in my area, so you should come on by and sub and spend bits and all that good stuff.
Jesse.
Hello, I'm Jahus the Moose, or Jesse Jahus the Moose on the interwebs. I do art things. I posted art things last week. Woo! Listen, it's a slow roll. And I'll be doing more art things as I draw everyone in this cast. Ta-da! You can go to my Twitter, and I didn't post it on Instagram, but I will be posting it on Instagram before I said art things. Also, hang on, wait, on Sunday, April 3rd, I'm going to be in a charity one-shot for Parkinson's Foundation, and I will keep plugging that until it is time for it to be a thing. I'll give you more information next week. Haha.
Mm-hmm.
Austin.
Excuse me. It's me, Austin. What's up? I'm Austin. You can find me on Twitter at SailorScottAustin. It's at Sailor SCT Austin. I do a bunch of game stuff. I write games, I design games, I play games, I tweet about games. I did a three-peat because I've been on 3 of these charity events on 3 different channels. I was here, I was on Utopia, and I was on Transplaner. So, hat trick, baby. In terms of something to plug, I have a Kickstarter right now going, Deimos Academy. is live on Kickstarter right now. We're currently 59% funded, so check it out. Maybe there's the link. If you, that's crazy. Who put that there?
You'll need to send me that private link because we have links blocked.
Oh, never mind. You don't see that link I just posted.
Because hey, people are shitty.
Can we post
if you
it
post
as
it
mods?
to Zoom?
Yeah.
We should be able to as mods.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Kickstarter Deimos Academy, GMless coloring book horror game. That's my biggest thing. That's the biggest thing to plug. You can also catch me on various other shows and stuff that I do. Come to Twitter. You'll see all the stuff that I do. Thanks so much. Take it away, whoever's next.
I don't know why you're not modded. That's really weird. God damn it. All right. Yeah, Melissa.
I am Melissa, also known as So Much Geek, SEW Much Geek. I do make things sometimes, and I post pictures of them sometimes. And I'm going to be also in another charity game, I believe on the 31st of March, but I will announce that as it gets closer as well, since I'm not sure what all the details are and I don't have the promo materials yet. So keep an eye on Twitter for that. It'll be very fun. And yeah, that's it.
Amazing stuff. As always, please support all of these wonderful people in all they do. They are awesome. Hi, I'm Ray. I've been your GM for the Mind of the Martyr. I do this mostly. Yeah, mostly this. I am also involved in the same event that Jesse is involved in. I'm actually running a Mega Man inspired game of Glitter Hearts for charity, which is going to be super hype. Mostly focused around the old like Battle Network games and cartoon and that kind of thing. So that's going to be just super cool. I'm so looking forward to getting involved in that. You can find me also Thursdays. There we go. Took me a minute on Polish Cryptid, where we're playing a short D&D heist-esque campaign. I know they're also raising funds for the folks in Ukraine. So hey, if you haven't had enough charity cool stuff, there's some more charity cool stuff. That's kind of it for me at the moment, because most of the things I'm working on are in the background that I either can't talk about or just are in the process of getting done. So yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you for the raid. A huge thank you to everyone who was involved in Collab in Color. We have raised so much for two amazing charities, and so many people were involved in getting this going and getting this off the air and doing wonderful things. So yeah, a big thank you to the folks at Dicey Amazons, a big thanks to the folks at Transplanar, and of course Utopia. You've all been fantastic. If you haven't seen some of their content before, go ahead and throw them some follows. Check them out, especially during this week, because oh my god, it has been nothing but glorious chaos. So yeah, thank you so much to all of those wonderful people who've helped make a difference in people's lives. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and bring this to a close here. Thank you so much to everyone for tuning in and watching. And yeah, take care, keep safe, keep medicated, wear your bloody masks, and keep moving forward. And we will see you all very soon. Take care, y'all. Bye.